you, Major. Very kind. Welcome everyone tonight. We'd tonight like to call on Ted Coer, good friend, pastor at Life Church, for our invocation.
Amen. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, your wisdom and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of community. And continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the purpose of truth, for the greatest glory of you, and for the service of humanity. And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Jude. You got your... Oh, you did? Uh-oh. Well, you need it, don't you?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll take your handsets, everyone press yes and stop right there for me, please. Everybody, press yes and stop right there. All right. Mr. Rogers will be the only one absent. Okay, now please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody press confirm. Magic sound. Oh, yes. Mr. Chairman, I have 23 present, about to have, 23 present, 1 absent. There is a quorum.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Mr. Clerk. Go that one.
All right.
Again, welcome everyone. Glad to have you tonight. We'll try to move through the agenda as quickly as possible, and the first thing is to approve that agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
I got a motion and a second on the agenda. Any discussion? Favorite say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on those minutes? Favor the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And the motion carries. Unfinished business, report of standing committees, planning.
No unfinished business, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. Physical review.
No unfinished business.
And nominating.
No unfinished business.
Thank you, chairs. Report of special committees. Are there any special committee reports? Hearing none, we'll move on to unfinished business, quarterly reports and action thereon, road fund, school fund, county general fund. Any questions on any of those quarterly reports? All right. New business. Standing committees, planning.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item A recommends approval to transfer a club car electric cart with serial number VIN JM 0914-013532 from the Sheriff's Office to the Board of Education Transportation Department. I so move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the transfer? In favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item B recommends approval for the Sheriff's Office to declare a list of weapons as surplus and to remove them from their inventory as well, and to be traded in with the winning bidder for new weapons: 84 Glock 21, 45 Glock pistols, 34 5 Glock pistols. I so move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the approval of the self. Any discussion on the motion? right, favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. And anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Item C, recommends the approval that the following list from the Sheriff's Department be declared as surplus and to be sold via internet auction. And if the commission, says it's okay, I'm gonna pass on all these VIN numbers.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I so move.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? Favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, no? Motion carries.
That concludes planning, Mr. Chair.
Chairman Putnam, I'd like to say, since this ends our year for the year, I appreciate so much you serving as chair of planning for the last year. You've done a great job, and I appreciate the work you've done, so thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Fiscal review.
Fiscal Review recommends approval of budget amendments to the General Purpose School Fund.
Got a motion and a second on the general purpose school. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you take your handsets, if you favor the motion, vote yes. If you do not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there for me, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Now please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You stick, lick, then put it back in there.
These aren't batteries.
Give me my Gatwood's battery.
Seen it flipped.
There you go. Excellent. Mr. Chairman, we have 23 voting yes, 0 no, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Fiscal Review recommends approval of a grant opportunity for the Family Justice Center in an amount of $10,000.
Second. I've got a motion and a second on the Family Justice Center grant. Any discussion?
Sorry, who made the second on that one?
Go.
All right.
All right, Mr. Clerk. Well, no, it's a grant. We can do that on a voice, I believe. Those favor the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Fiscal Review recommends approval of budget amendments to the County General Fund.
Got a motion and a second on
Sorry.
I'm sorry?
Y'all gonna have to speak up. I can't. Did you make the motion? Who seconded? Mr. Ford? All right, thank you. Y'all are talking now. I
Got a
can't-
motion and a second on the County General Fund. Any discussion on the motion?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you take your handsets, if you favor the motion, vote yes. If not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there for me, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? All right, please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, we have 22 voting yes, 1 no, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Fiscal Review recommends approval of the request from the Board of Education to enter into a capital lease agreement with Apple Inc.
Got a motion and a second on the lease agreement. Any discussion on that motion? Mr. Duncan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Schedule 2 is, which identifies the debt as either bank qualified or non-bank qualified. That schedule is blank. Is this debt intended to be bank qualified or non-bank qualified? The only reason it would make a difference is if there's a $10 million limitation on qualified debt per year, per fiscal year, and if the county's planning to issue any debt in the next 11 months, it would need to be, question would need to be answered.
Come to the microphone.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's through Apple financing, so it's, I can find the answer out, but I have no idea. Would you know, Randy? We've followed the same model we've followed for the last 3 iterations of the 3-year lease, so.
It's the same finance company we've used 2 times prior.
The only time it makes a difference is if the county were to issue any additional debt in this time period. That would put a limitation on the county's the $10 million. But
Without the answer to that question, Ms. Duncan, do you have a motion? Anything that you'd like to, as it relates to this?
I think that's kind of important. What is the time? You won't get the computers until we approve this. Is that so? That would put that off for a month, which would.
Would your motion be contingent upon finding out the answer and it being a positive answer for us? Would that be?
We'll adjust our deployment schedule. I mean, they'll be shipped from China, 900 units. Shipped from China, and then it'll take approximately 30 days to load and distribute them. So.
How long, Mr. Jerry, would it take to find the answer to his question, as far as?
You can find it out tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think I can get an answer right now.
No, I understand.
But I mean, we definitely can get an answer tomorrow.
Amend to make this subject to it being.
And what being the outcome to the question, Bob? Do you want an outcome, a particular outcome of that question in order for it to be moved forward? That it be a qualified bank? Is that what I'm understanding?
I think if you make that motion and allow it to be, if it is bank qualified, they can proceed on. If it's not, it has to come back to the commission.
That's my question. Is that your motion, Bob? Is that what you'd
fine.
like to? So, what I'm hearing, Commission, if you will, this is going to be, or Bob is asking for an amendment, which, before I proceed, I need a second for that. I've got a motion and a second, so trying to explain, Jim Martin, second. In order to explain exactly what we're doing, Bob's explanation was that if this loan is not bearing on us borrowing money.
No, it bank qualified is a Internal Revenue Service term that allows certain treatment of that debt. Usually results in a lower rate than debt.
So his motion is to amend this to say that the school board find out exactly the answer, whether it is a qualified or non-qualified approval to move forward. That's the motion and the second. Is any questions about what we're voting on? Please, if you are, Tom Short, do you have a question? Okay. The question, the discussion now is on the amendment, and the amendment is that the school board find out the loan, if it's a qualified or non-qualified. Again, is everybody clear? Does everybody understand? All right. On the amendment. On the amendment. Those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. That amendment passes. Now we'll move to the to the actual motion as amended. That, we're gonna take in, on the handsets. Okay, so we've amended the motion to say school board may go enter into this with Apple if, in fact, it is a qualified lender, okay? Again, I'm looking around. Please look at me if you do not understand what we're voting on. It's important, folks, that we know what we're doing. Okay, Mr. Clerk?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you take your handset.
I'm sorry. I apologize, Mr. Short.
Thought he
All right,
did.
Mr. Short?
Mark, is there a buyout on this lease? There is. And how much? Tariffs affecting the prices that we're paying for the computers?
No, the unit price is the same as it was prior to the tariff. We had a quote previously, and it had to be changed to the timing. And then the prices that we got on these units were actually a little better than the prices we got in June.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I'm sorry. Any other discussion on this motion with the amendment? All right, now let's try it. Mr. Clerk?
All right, your handsets are ready, so if you favor the motion as amended, vote yes. If you do not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone please vote and stop right there for me, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Now please press, wait till I call, now press for confirming, please. Mr. Chairman, there are 23 voting yes, 0 no, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. I'm going to ask Mr. Porter, if you will, if you get the answer to that question, please email the commission, let us know how that went. Thanks. Mr. Savage?
Fiscal Review recommends approval for the Sheriff's Office to enter into a lease agreement with Boswell's Harley-Davidson.
Motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motorcycle lease? Mr. Short?
Eddie, I'm not sure if you can answer it, but, is there a buyout on this lease as well? No, there's no buyout.
No, this is the same lease we've been doing the last.
So it's a straight lease, you return them at the end of the lease?
Yeah, 2-year lease.
So don't we already have a lease going on for other motorcycles?
This will be a lease for 3 new ones.
Right.
Every
So
2
what
years
is
we turn them
happening
in.
with the old ones is what I'm...
Back in.
The old ones are either turned back in, or they let us keep those and
And so what is your plan? Do you know what we're...
the plan is to keep 5, because we're gonna have 4 motors.
Okay, and
Two of the ones are a little older, so we're getting those for, I think we're paying $100 a month, $150 a month for those.
There were 3 on the original, and then now this is a new one with 2 more.
No, this is just 3, this is just the 3.
How many you have, or how many you will have?
We've got 3 right now, and we're gonna have a total of 5 when
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, Mr. Clerk.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you favor the motion, vote yes. If you not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone please vote. Stop right there for me, please. Mr. Eversole, thank you. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? All right, please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody press confirm. Mr. Chairman, we have 22 voting yes, 1 no, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Fiscal Review recommends approval of a resolution to apply to the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation for a recycling grant in the amount of $50,000 with a 30% match requirement for the purchase of recycling containers.
Second.
Merely made the motion and Ms. Duncan second. Any discussion on the grant? Favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. And the motion carries.
Go ahead, Chris.
Fiscal Review recommends approval to authorize the county executive to purchase property for new fire stations not to exceed the amount of $25,000 per purchase.
I've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mr. Epsom. Please speak into the mic. I can't even hear from here, please.
Do we need to put the total parcels he's looking for into the motion?
Well, it's in the budget amendments, total of 75,000. It was in your notes. I mean, you can add it to it if you want to.
Okay, I will amend it to say 3 parcels of land not to exceed 25,000. That's my motion.
Each.
Each.
And may I ask if I can, we've got an amendment before I go forward. I'll need a second for the amendment. Who seconds it? Mr. Medley? Is that right? Okay, Mr. Savage. So I've got a motion and a second on the amendment, which is to include 3 parcels of land at 25,000 each for a total of. I have one question, if I may. Would it be important that we recognize the area of the county that these are serving as part of the motion? I know.
It's up to you, Mr. Chairman. It was in my thing that I sent out to you with the agenda. There's a new station going in the 10th district down in the Gainsborough Grade County Farm Road area, and we're moving the station in Monterey out of the city limits of Monterey down on Highway 70 and putting a new one up on Clark Range Highway to better serve that end of the county and cover more folks. So those are the 3 areas.
Is there any wish of the commission to include that in the motion? If not, that's okay. I'm just asking.
That's already in capital projects.
Thank you very kindly. All right. Any discussion on the amendment? Favor that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Now the motion as amended. Any discussion on the motion as amended? Mr. Clark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you take your handsets, you favor the motion as amended, vote yes. If you do not favor the motion, vote no. Everyone, please vote. Stop right there for me, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Now please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Chairman, we have 23 voting yes, 0 no, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Fiscal Review recommends approval to apply for a TDOT multimodal access grant for sidewalks and trails. It requires a 5% match.
Motion to approve?
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion on that grant? All right. All those favoring that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, no. That motion does pass.
Fiscal Review recommends approval for the county executive to proceed with the purchase of property located at 528 East Spring Street for additional parking for the Justice Center, subject to due diligence.
Motion to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion on the motion, please. Mr. Ebersol.
I'm looking at this, and I personally, I have questions about it, and and it could lead on to other questions. I really think that this would be a issue probably for the new commission to take up, and what I would like to do is I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this until the next commission meeting and let the new commission take care of this.
All right. I've got a motion and a second. Ms. Adams, you're next. Is this on the amendment, or would it be on the motion, your question? On the amendment? It's on the motion. Okay. Anybody got discussion on the amendment? Mr. Porter, I'll recognize you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know there's been a lot of phone calling going on amongst the commissioners talking about this, and I just wanted you to know, you didn't, the other night when we had fiscal review, you had the opportunity to ask questions. First meeting, they don't know the issues as well as you do about the Justice Center parking lot and the parking problems we have. I've got the option that extends past the next county commission meeting, thankfully, so if we have to do that, we do, but I just don't understand what we would be trying to accomplish between now and the next meeting that we don't already know. That's my 2 cents worth.
Any other discussion on the amendment? And the amendment is to postpone this until next month's commission meeting for a decision. That's the amendment, and that's what we're discussing. And anybody? Mr. Duncan.
Ms. Adams passing her
She
time.
said she was on the motion, so I've already moved.
All right.
Thank you. Mr. Duncan, is yours on the amendment? Is your question on the amendment, or will it be on the motion?
My motion is to table the amendment.
You really want to complicate it. Can I make a suggestion, Ms. Duncan? The vote will decide whether we table it or not. A yes or no vote on that, on his amendment will decide whether it proceeds or not. Can we not just pursue it from that direction?
Okay.
Would you be okay with that? To keep from complicating, does everybody understand where we are at this point? All right. Mr. Duncan, would you just please? Mr. Duncan, Mr. Martin, do you want to speak on the amendment?
Well, I would like to have some comment. I don't understand if there's anything that of significance that needs to be discussed for a legitimate reason. What is it? So, would someone bring it up, please?
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Is any other discussion on this amendment? Folks, the amendment is to postpone this decision until next month's commission meeting. Does everybody understand what we're voting on? Yes, Mr. Ford.
So everybody understands, the option will not go past next commission meeting. That commission will have to vote at that meeting, yes or no, and the option expires just a few days after that, so they're not gonna have a lot of time to do anything. I just wanna make sure everybody understands that if we lose the piece of property, that what you're doing, okay?
And I'm good. Mr. Jones?
Obviously, it's the commission's decision as to how to proceed, but I thought it might be helpful to understand how this is legally structured as far as what you guys are getting ready to vote on. Right now, what the county has entered into is an option agreement. The option agreement basically just holds this in place pending a final decision on purchasing this property. The option agreement is subject to a mutually agreeable purchase contract. Part of the purchase contract, as Mr. Medley had mentioned in the last, or in the committee meetings, is subject to proper due diligence. Proper due diligence would include making certain that the title to this property is absolutely squared away, because anytime we buy a piece of property, or the county buys a piece of property, we're going to want title insurance on it. So the other part of it is the environmental questions regarding this property, because at one time this was an Exxon station. Even before we entered into the option agreement, I was speaking with the people at TDEC here and got the files from the tank closure back in 1999. This property was remediated in 1999, and they received a tank closure letter in March of 2000. So we know a lot. Purpose that we're purchasing it for. That's all going to be contained in a purchase agreement, whether you guys approve it tonight or whether the commission decides to approve it next month. It's going to be the same. But again, we already know much of that right now. Until we have it under contract.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. Any other questions relating to this amendment? Let me, Mr. Cassidy, would just, if I will.
Mr. Jones, Mr. Porter, walk me through, if you would please, timeline for environmentals, those kind of things, executing a purchase agreement versus actual final purchase. Extend that option.
Let me answer the first part, and you can answer the second part. In regards to the purchase agreement, as to when, and I know, Mr. Cassidy, you know this from your experience and the work that you do, that the going to contain what I had said earlier, but it's also going to contain when the closing date is going to be, and the closing date is part of that mutually agreeable contract. Enough, certainly, to give us plenty of time to do the Phase 1 environmental study, to do the title work, to do whatever else we want to work for us. Some contracts can go as long as 120 days. I don't think we're going to need that in this one, but that's part of the negotiations for the purchase contract. But again, we don't want to spend the money for these to do until we know that we got a contract here.
To answer your question on the option, it was $500, which is about half what a normal option would be for that piece of property. And I'm like Jeff, I've done all the due diligence that we can do. Really, the only thing left is a title search, maybe digging a couple holes down there. But if it turned out bad, we wouldn't buy it anyway. But I don't want to go spend that money and waste money if you're not interested in buying this property. So that was the whole point of bringing it to you now. It's compared to the rest of the property that we have looked around there, this is about half price what most of the other properties that we've looked at is. I think it's a good deal for the county with the parking situation we got. But ultimately, if y'all don't think it's a good deal, then you don't need to vote for it. That's why I brought it to you.
And as you know, Mr. Cassidy, the option agreement is just a placeholder, just to get us in the position where we can have time to negotiate a purchase contract. And the other thing that the commission needs to consider here is that this is not like any other type of a property purchase. For example, City of Cookeville was looking for a place to put a police department, and they're putting it out on Neal Street now. But they had all of the City of Cookeville to look at as far as available property. This is because the Justice Center is where it is, and it's not going to move, so you have to look for property around the Justice Center.
Is there any other discussion as it relates to the amendment? Folks, we're still on the amendment. Mr. Williams.
Well, just for myself, I understand it, and I appreciate you probably did all your due diligence. I don't have a problem with any of that stuff. I think, just me personally, is we're the outgoing, half of us are outgoing, and we're about to make a $250,000 decision. I think some of us are saying that should be elected, and we weren't. So maybe it should be their decision where they spend that $250,000. I think it's probably a good purchase, and I know you've done your work, but that's not the question, in my mind anyway.
Absolutely.
Bobby, Commissioner Williams, what I would say to that is that I understand you're going out, but you've been here for 4 years. You know all the issues that we have with the Justice Center and the jail and parking and all the things you're going to have to do. 12 new commissioners coming in don't know all that history that you know. So I think you have all the experience and the knowledge there to make that decision. Not arguing with you, just giving you my opinion, okay?
Any other discussion? Mr. Ebersol, I'll have to wait until everyone has spoke, since you've already spoken to this issue. Mr. Medley.
Randy, I say this is gonna be a parking lot, and I don't really see that big an issue with it, because we all know we got to have parking. So, direction that we make, and the new budget makes it easy.
Yeah.
Anybody else before I re-recognize Mr. Ebersol? Anybody else? Mr. Ebersol.
All right, well, my point being is that this came as an amendment to our agenda last week. Didn't know about it beforehand. We go through this week, and I agree, we probably, we should have gotten more phone calls, all right? But it's a hurry up. I'm not convinced that spending $210,000 is a good. That's in fact what will happen with it. And I'm just saying that there's other questions more in depth probably that paper. We'll have 30 days to look it over, and then they can make the whole decision. That's my reasoning behind that.
Ebersol?
Can I address Mr. Ebersol?
You sure?
Commissioner Ebersol, of all the property, and we started looking, several months ago, Sheriff, and because the architects that are doing the jail study said, y'all guys better be looking for some property, because if we have to do an addition to the jail, it's going to take up a lot of the parking lot. All the other places that we looked at, that would be 30 to 60 parking lots, the cheapest that we got priced was $400,000. I just don't think these options come up very often to be able to do something right here in the middle of town to fix an issue that we know we got. But I understand if you don't feel comfortable and want to push it to the next commission, that's y'all's decision. We'll do whatever you want to do.
Mr. Ford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The reason we're having this discussion tonight is because several years when they built the Justice Center, the county commission sat there and were not buying any property around the Justice Center when they had the opportunity to do it.
But Mr. Ford, if I may, and I apologize in no due respect, but that has nothing to do with our amendment, and that's what we're discussing right now, is the amendment whether to postpone it. And I apologize, I'm not trying to, but we're going in depth.
That's what I'm getting to, Mr. Chairman.
All right, please do.
I just can't believe that a new commission coming in here with 13 new commissioners would know exactly what was going on. Next commission, and then it'll be put off again for study and put off. If you want to find a parking place, I suggest you come up here one day when court's going on, and you'll end up parking over at Spring Street and walking to the Justice Center. There's no parking places over there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. And how do you really feel? Mr. Short. I'm sorry? Again, please remember, folks, we are on the amendment. That's where we are. So, Mr. Savage.
First of all, I don't think any of us that were not victorious are whining. Second of all, there's 7 newly elected commissioners here tonight, and I think all of them are intelligent enough to take the next month. It won't take them 2 or 3 years to figure out this one thing. I think they're all smart enough that they can handle this situation. So for us to pass it on is not a big deal. It's to make sure that everything is in order, and for people to discount these newly elected folks, they ought to be offended.
How do you really feel? Any other discussion on this amendment? Please, any other discussion? All right, we're fixing to take a vote, folks, whether to move this on to next month's agenda. Before I do, I'm asking one more time, is there any discussion? I'm gonna take a roll call vote as it relates to our amendment. Mr. Clerk, please.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take your handsets.
Let's make sure I'm sorry. Yes means move it forward 30 days. No means that we are going to take it up tonight right after this amendment. So, yes vote says move it 30 days. No vote says do not.
All right, everybody got it? Take your handsets and vote accordingly and stop right there, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their vote anywhere? Now, please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody press confirm, please. Mr. Chairman, you have 11 voting yes. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12 voting no, and 1 absent. Motion
That is
fails.
a no vote, so the amendment fails. We'll move on to the motion, and the motion we're taking up now is whether or not to give the county executive the authority to enter into contract and do due diligence before we actually execute the contract. Any discussion on that motion? Mr. Cassidy.
Just very quickly, Randy, the parking that is beside the Justice Center right now, how many spots do we have there?
Sheriff, 120, I believe it is.
Slightly over 100. So
Yeah.
this would be about half again.
Yeah, about 50 more. And remember, we're looking for other property too, that we're gonna have to add more to. It's just that we haven't found a good deal on the rest of the other, and not sure we will. We may have to come with one of these higher pieces of property, but this one was at such a good price, we wanted to take advantage of it. And I'd like to address Commissioner Savage's remarks about the new commission. I'm excited about the new commission, have full confidence in the new commission, but I just didn't feel like that it was right for this commission to pass it on to the new one. And it's nothing against the new commissioners in any way, shape, or form, Chris.
Just based on what I hear.
Is that all, Mr. Cassidy? Ms. Adams.
I've got a couple questions for our emailing
Mhm.
today. Even though we're calling this parking for the Justice Center, it's not really wondering, we're doing a kind of a deal with the city of Cookeville on their convention center parking because we knew that it would benefit people of the county as well as Cookeville people.
Yes.
Have we explored the opportunity to maybe bring Cookeville in to help cover the cost since they will be benefiting from this parking lot?
Well, they haven't asked us to come into any of their parking. They did the new parking lot for SAIC. They didn't ask us for doing that. They haven't asked us to help contribute to any of their parking lots. I'm sure they'd be happy for us to do that, but I think we're starting something that you might not want to get into, but that's just my...
Okay, but that's not, I mean, that's basically what we did for the convention center, right?
Well, we're not building the parking garage, a private,
But we gave the tax break. The understanding was because we're only covering the cost of the parking garage because we would be benefiting from it as well.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just saying, they're benefiting from this as well, so
yeah.
is that a possibility?
I could ask, but I'm gonna guess the answer is gonna be if y'all wanna put in on our parking lots in the future that'd be my guess, but now I don't know. I'm just telling you in past history, the county hasn't put anything in on the city's parking lots that they've done.
Next question. You said 30 to 40,000 for tearing down the building, smoothing it off, paving, everything.
Base, gravel, everything ready to pave.
So do we have any kind of an idea what, in the bottom line, what is this gonna cost us?
Well, it'll depend on the bid that the road supervisor has with our asphalt. Right now, Mr. Jones, it's 70,000 a mile. Looking, I mean, that little small amount, I'm guessing would probably be half of that, but now that's a guess. Mile is a lot of asphalt. I'm guessing, I'm guessing when,
Approaching 300,000.
I'm guessing when all's done, we'll probably have 75,000 in the property and have a parking lot. And one thing can I add too, we can set it to where that you say that parking for Justice Center, leasing that would be the difficulty of knowing where they're over there or where they're not.
Right, I'd love to see that.
We-
Even if it is difficult to police, at least it would be a
Well, we
start.
absolutely could do that.
Yeah.
Is that it, Ms. Adams? Thank you very kindly. And Mr. Short?
You know, first of all, I'm for the county buying whatever land it needs at whatever point it becomes available. But the real elephant in the room for me is the footprint of the Justice Center, and whether we really want to make the center of our town an entire fortress that is a jail and a justice center of the county. And I know that we have overcrowding issues.
Mr. Short, again, in all due respect, I don't believe that's toward the motion. The motion is whether to buy this property or not what we do with the Justice Center.
Well, I
So
think,
if you've got a direct question related to that, please.
I understand, sir, but that's why we're buying it, is because we feel like we need to expand that, and I think that's what the decision needs to be.
Mr. Chairman, can I answer that?
Absolutely.
Mr. Short, there is no doubt in my mind that if at any given time the county decided not to do the expansion at the jail or Justice Center and decided to do something else, that the county could get its money back easily and probably make a profit off of this piece of property. A couple of months ago and didn't take the offer and regretted that, and now they've dropped the price for us to be able to take it, so if that helps.
Mr. Elweiser?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Porter, I think you may have given me a little bit of an answer to the question. With the issues of parking downtown, of course, goes back to Ms. Adams' comment just a moment ago about about a lot of the folks from the shops and restaurants that might park there as well. Is that in the plan to maybe not all 50 or so spaces, but maybe for
a lot of those people park into, and there's not really a lot for people to, other than the Justice Center, that would need to park in this parking lot where it's located at. What's happening now is they're complaining to me and the sheriff that the county needs to do something, and so this is the first opportunity we've had to do something at what I thought was a good price.
Are we going to be able to reserve some of those spaces, though, to try to help with the situation there? Because, like Ms. Adams,
Commission desires.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Eversole? I'm sorry? Any other discussion? Speak now. Folks, I am neutral, okay, as chair. I really am not going to profess one way or the other. What I do want to make sure is that we all, as the commissioners, understand what we're voting for, okay? We are voting whether or not to purchase a piece of property with the understanding that in order to verify the usability of this for parking, we are authorizing our county executive to do due diligence. We are authorizing our county attorney to do all the investigative work to make sure that it can function as a parking lot. At that point, if we agree, if we vote to purchase that piece of property, then we can determine what we do as far as signage or the other things. But now, and increase the parking by approximately 50 spaces to alleviate some problems we've got at the Justice Center. Now, Does everybody understand? And again, please don't take that as I'm just trying to explain exactly where we are and what decision you're making tonight. Does everybody understand that? Are we all clear? Mr. Clerk, if you vote yes, you're voting to purchase. If you vote no, you're voting not.
Okay, hang on. Okay, took a little of my thunder there. All right, everybody understand what we're doing? Take your handsets. Vote yes if you do favor, no if you do not favor. Stop right there for me, please. All votes are in. Anyone wish to wait? Gosh, dang. All votes are in. Anyone wish to change their votes anywhere? Please press confirm for me, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta have a parting shot, I guess. Mr. Chairman, we have 19 yes, 4 no, 1 absent. That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Cloak, and we have authorized pursuit. So,
With pleasure, that concludes fiscal review.
Chairman Savage, I'd like to say as you as well, thank you so much for serving as chair for the fiscal review for the last year. It's been an honor to serve with you, and I appreciate the job you've done. Nominating. That's you, Ms. Kay.
Go where she's at.
We've got a motion and a second on Cuz becoming or staying the coroner for Putnam County. Any discussion on that motion? Favorite say aye. Aye. Against say no. Motion carries. And Chairman Reel, I'd like to say thanks to you as well for chairing the nominating committee and the job you've done for the last year. Thank you so much. All right. Any report of special committees? Any resolutions, Mr. Clerk?
There are no resolutions, Mr.
Well,
Chairman.
I bet there's some notaries.
I bet they are.
Go with it.
Here we go. Chelsea A. Anderson, Corey T. Austin, Judy Boone, Eric L. Brown, Emily A. Casper, Jordan Lee Davis, Bo Davis, Nolan R. Gouldsby, Tom C. Howard, Marianne Jasper, Jennifer McDonald, Megan Meadows, Cameron Nixon, Todd G. Pyle, Michael Runzowski, Monica Sawyer, Donna Stewart, Amanda G. Wallace.
We got a motion and a second on the notaries. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk.
All right, these have to be voted. If you take your handsets, if you favor the motion, just go ahead and please vote yes for me. And we'll stop right there. Now, wait a minute. How'd you do vote locked already?
My hand slipped.
No kidding. How convenient. All right. Go ahead and press confirm, ladies and gentlemen. Savage has done beat you to the draw. Wow. Good job. So are some others. Mr. Chairman, we have 23 voting yes, 0 no, 1 absent. Motion carries. Thank you so much.
All right. New business. Hear from Bill Summers with the Burgess Falls State Park. Mr. Porter, you going to introduce him, or you going to?
Make sure we got his PowerPoint up.
There it is.
Bill is the Parks Director for the Burgess Falls State Park, and he likes to come every now and then and give the commission an update on what's going on at Burgess Falls, and I think you'd be amazed at the number of visitors that they're seeing at Burgess Falls.
Bill, if you will speak into the mic so we can get this on tape, please.
I will.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you all. I wanted to come this evening and thank all of you for your help getting Window Cliffs open and your support through the years. We're now up and running. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, and if anybody has any questions at the end, I'll be glad to answer them. Burgess Falls and Window Cliffs are not connected, but the 250 acres of Window Cliffs and the 210 acres of Burgess Falls, and then the core property is below us. But this is the fairly new map. I know it's a little difficult to see. Burgess Falls was initially owned by Cookeville and then became a state natural area state park in 1973. 210 acres of Burgess, 4 waterfalls with a small 50-acre lake, 1.5 mile trails, restrooms, playground. The whole is 2 miles of hiking trails. Jewel of the Eastern Highland Rim. It is the most visited attraction in Putnam and White County. Most of the park and Window Cliffs is in Putnam County, except for a little bit in White County. The trail at Burgess. Window Cliffs open for there, and that's the confluence of Phelps Branch and Cane Creek. Besides myself, there's 4 other commissioned officers, a secretary, and a few seasonals. Our responsibilities include safety and security, education, resource management, all the maintenance in the park. We're on the Highland Rim, and both parks empty into the Central Basin right below, close to population centers on I-40. Our visitation has 98,000 last year, which is a fair amount of folks for us to take care of. But we have good support with the Sheriff's Department, in 2016 with 240 personnel full-time, and that was about 21 visitors per acre. For Burgess, with 198,000 visitors, Cliffs. Half of our visitors come from other counties in the state. About a fourth, 24% come from Putnam and White County, and about 25% come from out of state. And then now we're doing a tag survey once a day at Window Cliffs to see where I don't know what the figure is now, but we're proud to help bring in money to the counties. Challenges we have are sustainable and viable long-term tourism, maintaining safe, quality visitor experience, and protecting the resources in two small state natural areas, and our visitation is going up, so that is a challenge. Safety, it's a daily thing to help people make good choices. This is from last week. This happens almost every day. This is on the edge of the 136-foot high waterfall. We spend at least 40 hours a week, one of us at the top of the falls. And since I've been there in the last 14 years, we've not had anybody fall off the top. This is a near daily occurrence. We're very busy. We're spending less time directing traffic than we used to. It used to be every weekend, but we're getting more people into the park now, which is good. A lot of trail work. Historic challenges have been restrooms. We just had our restrooms expanded and doubled size, so instead of 2 stalls, now we have 5 in each restroom, which is great. This ADA upgrade with the restrooms, we have a new small overlook that's ADA accessible overlooking the upper falls, as well as the observation deck at the main dam area has been rebuilt. Current projects, invasive species and a half feet from the bottom, and this graduate student, just with 2 inches of rain, that rock is underwater. So it happens quick. We close down when we need to. Research, constant habitat improvements. A lot of trail work with 200,000 people on essentially 6 miles of trails. a lot of volunteers, tech students helping us. Annual events, Butterfly Garden Celebration, Girl Scout, Master Gardener Service Day, summer, spring, winter, Junior Ranger Day camps. We had 7 camps this year and 200 kids. School groups, off-site and on-site. Education outreach, besides field trips, church groups, local organizations, work days, butterfly events, a lot of educational opportunities, but partnerships, Friends of Burgess Falls, which is a nonprofit, Putnam County Master Gardeners, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, a lot of Eagle Scouts, and a lot of Gold Star Girl Scouts do their projects. Tech students, Land Trust for Tennessee, Putnam County government. Does anybody have any questions? I know y'all are busy. Sir? Since I've been there, or in general on average? We've had 5 carryouts at Window Cliffs since we've opened. 2 people have walked out that probably should have been carried out, me included. But I think we've had 100 basket carries since I've been at Burgess since 2000. There's going to be quite a few. People make poor choices at times, so.
Absolutely. There you go.
We were going to, but it was cut from the budget, so.
Mr. Bill, let me say thank you so much for you being here with us for your report, and I wish that you'd pass along to your staff how much we appreciate that work, the effort that you put out. It's a beautiful area, and it's beautiful because you keep it up and you take care of it. So let's give him a hand and for being with us. Thank you. Do you, Ms. Bowman, you just want to have an announcement, or you want to speak on something else? Let me finish then the other new business here. Cash flow analysis of the general purpose schools. Anybody got any questions? You want to ask the school board about this cash flow? And recognize the highway department inventory. Any of the questions as it relates, Mr. Jones is here, to his inventory. All right, Ms. Bowman, please. You have an announcement to make? No? You were on my screen. Okay.
It must have got hit by accident.
Mr. Porter.
Mr. Chairman, I have one good announcement. Mr. Boyd evidently has some past contacts with Apple. He's already confirmed that the loan, the financing is bank qualified, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you to both of you. Mr. Boyd.
Mr. Chairman, you want to come down and
Yeah. I want to ask the commissioners that will not be returning next year, please come down and line up in front, please, if you will. All those that are leaving us after tonight, please. Come on, Mr. Savage.
And by the way, if you're leaving tonight, it's your last night. If you want to take your nameplate with you, please feel free to do so. All right? Thank you.
Spread them on out, guys, so we get everybody kind of centered. Then, if you will, slide down. Y'all just real. Come on. Help me cooperate. Slide on in. Well, I didn't intend to make a speech, so let me just say this. It's an honor for me to have, first of all, served as your chair for the last couple of years. I thank you very kindly for giving me that honor. Secondly, I want to say that it's been an honor for me to serve with you as a commissioner for the last 4 years on this body. Folks, it takes a special person, a special effort to be willing to give up their time to come and conduct county business. And I know that it's not always easy. So it takes a special breed and a special person. So let me just say from Putnam County, thank you for your service. And that I hope personally that it's not the last Keep the phone numbers of your commissioners, and don't be afraid to use them. I certainly have become used to your ideas and to your, I guess, bendings in certain directions. So continue to help lead that. I want to recognize them. I guess most everybody here knows. Well, if I mess this up, won't I be a mess? Let me just pass the mic, and if you want to introduce yourself and say something, please do. If you don't, just pass it to the next guy. Okay, Larry?
Larry Redwine, District 7. I enjoyed my time here with some of these guys.
I'd like to congratulate all the new commissioners coming on board, and I hope you do a real good job.
Well, I just want to say that I've enjoyed the last 8 years. We've seen a lot of changes in our county over the last 8 years. When I came here 8 years ago, I was the only Republican on the commission, and now that was when most of you guys were all still Democrats. So, but anyways, it's been an honor and a privilege, and I think that overall over the last 8 years we've seen our county grow, and I'm just looking forward to the new commission and see what they have to do.
I'm Larry Banner, the 4th District up in Monterey area, at the top of the mountain where the hilltops kiss the sky, and it's still kissed. I've enjoyed the last 4 years. I was somewhat disappointed in my defeat, but that's the way the ball rolls, you know, and the cookie crumbles. And I've had a great time, and I've met a lot of new people, a lot of people I've met here, and I like you guys. You never know what's going to happen next, but I just appreciate the opportunity to serve my district.
Thank you. I'm Marcia Bowman of the 11th District, and I'm leaving feeling good. I've accomplished a lot in my district, and I'm proud of it, and I can walk out holding my head up.
I'm Donnie Buttram, also Commissioner of 11th District. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve the constituents of 11th District, and I want to wish our replacements all the luck in the world, and any way we can help, just let us know. Thank you.
I'm Benton Young, serving the 9th District. I've really enjoyed serving with these ladies and gentlemen over the last 4 years. It's been a great opportunity, and I wish the new commission the very best.
I'm Bobby Williams with 5th District. Glad I did it. Probably won't ever do it again. So, but I really did like it, and I had a good time and got to meet a lot of good people.
I'm Dan Morphew with the 10th District, and I'm just appreciative for the opportunity to serve the people.
I'd like to say on behalf of the County Executive's Office and other elected officials, I'm sure they feel the same way. It's been a joy to work with y'all. And I'm going to send you out a list sometime in the next day or two of all the accomplishments that happened in the last 4 years in Putnam County. It's a pretty long list, and y'all got a lot to be proud of, and I appreciate the working relationship, and I appreciate all the good things you did. Thank you.
If I may, no sense in getting in a hurry now, is there? I'd like also, first of all, I'd say again thank you to all of you, and good luck to all of you, and come back to see us. On top of that, I'd like to ask the commissioners who will serve that are in the audience the next 4 years, I'd like to ask you to stand, if you would, please. Congratulations to you guys on your victories. We all look forward that we'll be here to serving with you and trying to move this county, continue to move this county forward. A couple of announcements I think we need to make is a reminder to those commissioners who will be back that orientation is the 27th. That is Monday at 5:30. We'll be here if you can come, we would appreciate very kindly that you being here. Again, that's Monday night, this coming Monday night at 5:30 for orientation. Then on the 31st, which is Friday, there'll be a swearing in. That takes place again here in this room, and that's at 10 a.m. on Friday. So please put that on your calendars. Those that can be, please try to be. And we'll look forward again to convening a new commission. One more thing, too, we talked about. Generally, we try to take a picture of the commission every election term. So we've determined, I guess Randy was going to get a photographer for us on the September meeting or the October meeting? The September commission meeting, not the committee meeting. So if you want to dress appropriate or whatever, we generally go out on the steps and have a picture. So be notified in advance that September meeting, come prepared to take a commission picture. Any other folks, any other announcements? Mr. Ford, and let me just say this. I know everybody wants to congratulate their folks, but we can probably do that after we adjourn. But Mr. Ford.
Back and forth and crying and whining. Just always remember, that's up here. When we walk out of here, we're still friends, no matter how much we are or fight. It's not personal. And congratulations to you, and I'm going to miss working with all of you.
All right. Any other discussion? Anything else we need to talk about, folks? Mr. Martin. Yes, sir.
I'd just like to take 1 minute to say thanks to our friend Bob Duncan. As we recall, a couple of years ago, we had a sudden vacancy in this commission, and I approached Bob to ask him if he would be willing to serve that unexpired term. And readily, Bob said, yes, I will, subject to. And the subject to is that there would be no expectations that he would run in the campaign of 2018. And I appreciated him stepping forward. We needed him at the time. We needed his experience. And Bob has always been an excellent public servant. Thank you, Bob.
Mr. Duncan.
I move we adjourn.
And we stand adjourned. Thanks, folks.